Bones are amazing things. They hold us up. They support us. They make us strong. But bones have other uses. In the past, bones were thrown by diviners, seeking out the mysteries of the future. Now the bones are cubes, made of plastic or resin, but they still reveal things to us. As they fall from our fingers and rattle across the table, the story becomes clear. Welcome to Bone Throwers Theater, an RPG actual play podcast.
Hello, and thank you for listening to this episode of Bone Throwers Theater. My name is Jordan. I am the game master, and to my right, I have
Johnny, who normally plays Chime North.
I'm Jeff. I normally play Jerr Lan.
And this is Jeremy, normally playing Julian Illix.
This is Aaron, usually playing Sam Feluge.
This is Ellie, usually playing Archi / Choler? ?
Well, the elemental that was bonded with Choler.
The elemental formerly known as Choler.
Yes, okay.
Which I think we came up with the name of Nidog last time.
I think so.
Yeah.
So, guys and gals, did you have fun?
Yes.
And guys playing gals and
Guys playing gals and gals playing guys.
Which everyone's getting confused nonstop. Yeah. I'm confused. We're all confused.
So anyway, let's focus on what we have in front of us.
And we have a lot in front of us.
A lot to unpack.
Oh my gosh. We have so much.
I don't know what you're talking about. We only traveled 2/3 of the way there.
But so much. So much.
We've seen the center of the city.
Yes.
The center of Consiglio, which was all brand new.
Yes.
We learned about the kaiju.
Mm-hmm.
And other various wildlife creatures.
Mm-hmm.
And how to hunt them and how to not be hunted by them.
We learned about how the androids, the elementals controlling the androids, view the world.
Yes.
We met pirates.
Gosh, this was really
We met
packed.
parrots.
Yeah, I mean, there was... We met parrots.
You met
And we learned more things about innate powers and elemental powers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What was the biggest revelation for you all today?
I'm going to cheat by looking at the
Little
notes.
brother.
Well, that's
That was a great cliffhanger ending.
a good question. Would Chime automatically
Pick that up.
pick up on
I don't
it?
know if you
Yeah, I
did.
don't know.
Or have they already picked up on it?
Yeah.
Aaron is vehemently shaking his finger.
So there were two things that I felt were largely revelatory, and it has to do with one of the other players and characters. Julian telling Chime that a time is coming when the innates are going to have to protect the rest of humanity against the elementals was kind of the impression that I got.
Yes.
Julian sees this war coming and is starting to raise an army.
Well, sort of. If you picked up on what Julian said to Serrani,
Yeah.
Julian was pretty much, look, get your people in check before we have to.
Yes. And then also Julian's theory of where his innate ability comes from. I had never...
That was interesting.
That was a neat
Yeah,
idea.
that was
About his mom being pregnant and bonding.
Well, that was the intention from the start for Julian.
Yeah.
That's
No,
why...
I remember you mentioned that before once, but...
That's why he has that specific power, is because his mother bonded when she was pregnant, so he has that connection with elementals, which is why it's easier for him to connect to fire elementals than in every other.
Almost
elemental.
like each innate is born with the ability or created with the ability to become an innate, but there is something that triggers their innateness, and their
Gives them that
innateness
specific
is
power.
specific to that.
So,
Trigger.
like Chime's ability, which is basically placating other people, is completely hinged off of his relationship with his father.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's sort of ironic for Julian that his power comes from something that he views as that's the problem in this world.
Mm-hmm.
So one thing Jordan had us do is, and he does this for every season that we have, go back through our 3x3 and do it sort of a overhaul of our 3x3. So we did that again for season 3. And one thing I put in there, which didn't really come into play, the first part of it didn't really come into play because Julian's his new mission. One part of his new mission is going to be to make sure Katari is healed, saved, whatever. Because he's starting to get the sense that fate or his role in the universe is just to bring about destruction in the sense that is going to actually right some things.
Yeah.
So he's thinking he wants to actually do something that is actually good for somebody else right then and there in the moment, rather than everything that he's doing. Like he's built, like he has this power just to combat the evil that gave him his power.
Yeah.
So he wants to be more than that. The struggle that he's going through right now.
He wants to grow beyond what he sees himself.
Right, because if you notice, and this is one thing we touched on at season 1 with some of the rumors, and then season 2, anybody that has been close to Julian,
Gone.
dead, like unnaturally dead.
Yeah.
So he wants to break that cycle. That's sort of where that is coming from, as far as there's a war coming.
Let's keep moving.
Let's keep moving, and also, I mean, he's got the sense now that innate powers, just like any other abilities or strengths or muscles, can be grown. They're not, oh, this is what you do and that's all that you can do for all of time. 2 years from now, you're going to be able to do more than you were today.
Right.
So
I always enjoy playing with the format of role-playing games. Like, the form of the role-playing game is typically very linear. Like, this is how you, like, you go from point A to point B, you do a couple side quests, you defeat some monsters and everything like that. But we play with chronology.
yes,
And I think that it's turned into a really great...
Well, and that's part of why I wanted to start mine off with a flashback.
Yeah.
I love that about this time, because what we ended up doing is telling parts of a story and then leaving it to the next person to fill in more blanks in that story.
Yeah.
And then the next person fills in more blanks to that story. So you
Leaves
get
these whole new ones.
You get this one thing, like at the end of, I think it was at the end of Jerr's or something we were talking about, where we actually ended up right outside of Choler City.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, Chime and Julian are just arguing.
No, that was in the Chimes.
It was something.
Yeah.
that was the
Chime and Julian are like, just like butting heads. Why are they butting heads so much?
Yeah.
Where did this come from?
Where did this come from? And you kind of went at it with a little bit of edge to your voice when it happened.
Yeah.
And Johnny just rolled with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was nice.
It was
What you
good.
gotta do?
And it backed up. The next scene we had, we sort of built it. Okay, here's why that happened.
Yeah.
And then we got there towards the end, and then all of a sudden they're now working together.
Yeah.
And they're much more cooperative. And
Than they had been previously.
Very, very similar to how Lost did each of their flashback episodes. Like, I felt like in the show Lost, each character had only a portion of the story, and then as you flash back to all the characters,
They all
repeatedly,
It
you
makes
started
sense.
realizing their interaction and
Yeah.
how tied in everything was. It was cool. I like that with this.
yeah, there was a episode of, and I always go back to this because this is one of my favorite franchises, TV shows, Stargate Atlantis. There's one episode, and the episode was broken up into, I think, 10-minute segments.
Yeah.
And 10 minutes you followed this character, and you saw the day's events from that person's perspective.
Yeah.
And then the next 10 minutes was another character, next 10 minutes, and you didn't
Was that
really...
the one where the doctor died?
Where Beckett died.
Yeah. That was a great episode.
That was fantastic, because you didn't know what happened until there at the very end.
Yeah. That was one of the best episodes of that show.
Oh yeah, that was amazing. And I kind of got that feeling with that now, which was like, and it was itching us. I was like, hoping we'd get to Sam's.
Yes.
Because that whole mountain scene.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That-
What was Julian shooting at?
What was Julian shooting at? Why was Julian shooting?
Was it Julian?
Was it Julian?
Yeah.
Or was Julian being shot at?
Yeah, and who we already brought up all these questions. Who is the they that Julian was talking about?
Yeah.
See, in my mind, the they is the pirates.
Probably. I mean,
my
that's
mind.
the easy out. But it could also be it could be council members that have tracked them
Could have been
down.
council members. Could have been more wildlife.
Could have been soldiers. Could have been another kaiju.
Could have been a lot of things. And a lot of
Yes.
things that were introduced in this specific.
Yes.
Yeah.
Could it be everything?
Oh, God.
What if the council is controlling the kaiju?
I really enjoyed the kaiju. That was a lot of fun. Like,
That was really unexpected. Actually, I thought it was going to be this huge, like,
Monster.
actual monster.
Yeah.
I was toying with the idea. I was thinking of back to Terra Proximus in the bee-covered Tyrannosaurus Rex.
As soon as you said boom and the ground is shaking, I was like,
Well, that's-
flashbacks.
Yeah.
Don't go there.
Well,
Don't
that's
go
why
there.
I made the joke about Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a really cool idea because I've been thinking about in the back of my head, what does the world look like outside of Consiglio?
Mm-hmm.
And one of the ideas that I had is that there might be some elementals that are just doing their own thing, just
Yeah, that was cool. Like we could just see natural elementals doing their own thing.
yeah.
Well, you saw the results of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You did actually see the elemental,
Yeah.
which there's another thing I liked. I always wanted to start off season 3 with Julian revealing to Sam that Sam's
could see
ability.
Altered.
It was discussed briefly between Jerr and Julian.
Yeah.
Okay,
So initially it was brought up as
It wasn't about seeing elementals. It was just about not being able to see in the dark.
Yeah, I think it was seeing in the dark.
And that's where I came the first time. See.
yeah,
It
and
didn't
failed.
work.
What do you see? I don't see anything.
That was awesome.
You tried it 3 times and it didn't work
failed,
on
yeah.
anybody.
And then it was next time everyone's like, oh yeah, okay, here we go again.
Yeah.
Oh wait, now it actually works. Oh, he wasn't just pulling our leg. And then Archie, being Archie.
Or not being Archie.
Yeah, that's the thing is like Archie's dual nature really didn't come out until late in the
Until that mountain scene.
yeah
When Julian was like, Archie? Are you Archie now?
yeah.
Now you're Archie?
Yeah, my other personality was irritated by that and said, "You called?" Yeah, I didn't know if I wanted to use that double or split personality today.
Yeah.
But
Sorry.
no. Yeah, you did. But Julian pushed it. Because Julian's a very pushy guy. I will say that.
Yes,
He's
yes, he
very,
is.
very irritating and pushy.
Yes, he is.
Well, look what's happened to Julian.
He's been through a lot.
Would you not be?
So it's also Ellie's first time playing Shade.
That was... So I get very nervous. It took me to like a flashback of when I first joined you guys. I was constantly saying, "Was that good?"
Yeah.
And like I don't find comfort in new things. I'm very like, oh, I know what I know. I'll stick with that. And I was like brainstorming for my scenes, and then all of a sudden they were like, "Oh, you're Shade now." I was like, "Oh, here you go. And you have 30 seconds. Go." And I was just like, I don't even like. I wasn't here for the first season. Like I haven't seen a lot of scenes.
It was perfect.
Yeah.
The idea of Shade is so that anybody can pick it up.
Yeah.
And do it. And it
and
doesn't
do it.
have to fit into this strictured mold.
We all have our
Shade
own
is
personality for it.
Shade is air.
Yeah,
It's going to fit the mold of whatever.
and
I just
whatever it's
remember that awesome scene you did with the bodies.
oh,
It's not necessarily I like wanted to top it, but I was just like, how do I play that character when I've never
No, see,
embodied that.
That was the
character?
only time we've seen Shade be
Do
that
that
character.
way.
right.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
I
Shade
just
is
haven't
always
had
different.
a
Yeah.
lot of interaction with.
I mean, we've seen
Large
Shade be
shapes.
evil playful and then friendly playful.
And then downright evil, like not
Yes,
even
and just
playful.
playing evil.
And I just know. I just know because of Julian's irritating
Yeah.
nature, I was just like, I'm not going to even bother with this guy.
Which kind of shows a little bit how tossed in by the wind Shade is, because the last time we saw Julian and Shade interact, they were like boom.
They had an agreement, and
They
working
were
together.
Julian and Shade were boom. This is okay. We got this mutual respect for each other. We're moving forward, and now it was, hey, Julian and Shade again, and Shade's like, huh? What? Who are you? Why do you think you know me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought it was interesting you were playing with the idea that I was the subjugator versus...
Well, that was my goal. That when I wanted to do that scene with Sam, that was my goal, was always to confront Shade about coexisting or subjugating.
I mean,
And
by definition, Shade is a subjugator.
yes, which is what he said. But if you didn't notice, and we probably should have made a roll for this, is the choice of words Julian was using was trying more persuading Shade to consider the other option.
Yeah. It was pretty crazy.
Yes, and then Shade made the comment about, killing Julian.
And then I
missed
know...
that.
I missed it too.
Was that based off of my line, curiosity killed the cat?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't take that as a
threat.
What?
threat.
Yeah.
So yeah, but that mountain scene,
Whatever it is.
whatever it is, and that was just
You are on a cliff, right?
So I picture more like almost like a ski slope, or not like straight ski
Well,
slope.
I was
but-
picturing more like the path that they were walking up in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was thinking of
Yeah.
and you were going down the path on this.
Yeah.
And that was the reason why I made the joke about the abominable snowman was
Yeah.
because of that old PC game
Yeah.
where you kept on going.
Yes,
into
downhill skier.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's such a great game.
It was a lot of fun. I played that for hours when I was a kid.
But there's some like we were passing notes around
Yeah.
on index cards like crazy for this one because there's some
Ski
theories that we have, and the one that I like and I about that last scene, and I don't know if it's something that Jordan will run with because he kind of had that look on your face like I don't know about that. Was everybody was at the bottom, and you said Katari looks up at Jerr, but it's not like looking at Jerr, and then speaks. The clouds.
They're
Dancing on the clouds.
Yeah.
And then I got this crazy idea at the time. It's like, oh, and I frantically wrote this thing on the card down. At that moment, Julian actually was reaching out and connecting with Katari's elemental. So the crossover in the conversation, maybe that the clouds dancing on the clouds actually makes sense to whatever's happening on the top of the mountain.
It might. It might.
And which makes absolutely no sense to you guys at the bottom. But Katari and the elemental are not within enough to make that distinction. So Katari was speaking, but Katari actually wasn't physically conscious and aware. So sort of like dream speaking. Like she said she was dreaming.
Fireflies, yeah.
So I got the impression when you say when Katari is dreaming, it's like she's not dreaming. She's actually having conversations with the elemental.
Yes, in a certain regard. She might also be seeing things that are happening elsewhere on the planet.
Yes, I thought that too.
Yep. So anyway, there you go.
So there's that theory.
And the thing is, you throw off enough loose threads. Some of them stick, and some of them just.
I'm making a knot over here. I'm loving
Yes. Half of me is glad that we cut it short because halfway through the session, I'm thinking, oh no, the session is going to end with Sam there at the end. And usually when sessions end with Sam at the end, there's just needless killing at the end.
Just like violence.
It's like, there's no reason for this. Why?
Your mother died, but here's the kitty cat.
So now we'll be starting off with senseless killing. And
I hate to say, you guys have given me all the needless violence that I need to start with.
Let's go ahead and talk about points.
Yes.
So everybody gets 10 character points to start off with. Ellie, you get 11 character points because tomorrow is your birthday. Monday.
My birthday's this coming week too.
Jeff, then you get an extra character point as well.
Sweet.
Birthday
Let's talk about
buddies.
this. So, I think the only person that spent fate points today was Ellie.
Yeah.
That never happens.
Well, there wasn't a whole lot. There was pretty much no combat rolling.
Well, yeah, the combat that we had was sort of more eluded combat than actual.
But also you guys did a lot of avoidance. Like you avoided the kaiju.
Well, avoidance in how we chose to tell the story as well, which I kind of like. Is this was more of a journey story rather than a fight story.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That we kind of alluded to the fights or combat nature that happened, and then cut right back to the story. How did they get to the next part?
And also, like some combat happened when one character was the POV and another character was off slightly out of distance, like when we were hunting.
Yeah. Julian went off, and you don't know how he actually killed.
But
the
that was
animal
really
and came
cool.
back.
Yeah.
And then again at the end, Julian going up the mountain while they're fleeing, and then you're hearing a gunshot.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So character points, everybody got 10 except Jeremy, Jeff, and you, Ellie. Sorry.
Character,
End of the night. I have a hard time with the name salad. Let's talk about role playing.
That's a hard one tonight.
My money's on Jeff.
On Jeff.
The extra care in I'm a healer now really...
He was very focused on that, yeah.
Yes. Focused on his...
goal to redeem himself as a healer.
Specifically because being privy to some of the chat. So maybe that might be more character advancement than role-playing.
I think you're right on that.
But you did a good job of bringing your goals of the character advancement to the forefront.
Yeah.
And that showed in your role playing.
And that, yes, that's a good way to say it.
I would say Johnny or Jeff.
Jeff for role playing?
I mean, if it were storytelling, I would have to go with Jeremy.
Yeah.
He was in a lot of it.
Yeah.
Well, he was crucial to a lot of it.
Right.
Well, that's not a real categories. Storytelling.
I know.
Yeah.
Should it be?
Well, not
typically,
because this is a different type of.
Yeah.
This is a different
Play.
genre
Yes, I know.
of episode.
Most of our campaign episodes are not going to be.
Well, we could say that.
We don't leave the storytelling in our.
We could say
our
tonight
hands.
the role playing is storytelling.
Yeah.
So,
That's
in which
true.
case, my vote would definitely go to Jeremy.
Yeah.
Then it would switch over to Jeremy, yeah. Are we sticking with that? Are we sticking with storytelling, or...
It works for me.
It's fine with me, if that's what you want to do for tonight.
Okay, then Jeremy.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the typical thing, but
But this is...
with the format we had tonight,
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So character advancement. You're going to go with Jeff, Aaron?
I'm going to go back with Jeff.
I'm going to go with Johnny. With
Yeah.
Chime.
I would agree. Johnny.
The whole.
I'm going to go with Bear.
Oh, we did learn
that's-
that he's an older man.
Well, that's an interesting. Bear was kind of all over the place, a little.
Yeah.
And a little bit. Bear ties into that last scene, as well, because we saw Bear in that scene very different than we've seen Bear ever.
yeah.
So what happened to Bear right before then?
Yeah, the question is, was the breakdown affecting Bear as well?
It seemed like there was something going on different with Bear. in
So
that scene.
my interpretation of that was that Bear's elemental recognizes Archie and was trying to communicate to Archie as best they could, but because they were working against programming of a 7-year-old kid, that's how it was manifesting.
Okay. So I kind of picked up on that. The Bear is recognizing that Archie's elemental is taking over the programming
Right.
of Archie. Okay. I did pick up on that a little bit. Okay. But yeah, I definitely would say Chime as far as character advancement. There's a lot of introspective taking a look at
I love the flashback.
the flashback.
That
was a good one.
Well, yeah, the flashback was huge
Fantastic.
development for
Oh, for
Chime.
sure.
Fantastic. Because of what you did with it afterwards.
Yeah.
In and of itself, it was a cool flashback
Yeah.
scene. But to see what you did with it afterwards, and by the nature of the interaction of what was going to be going along in the journey,
Yeah.
I think Chime is a much different character from the start to where we left off.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Definitely.
Not
on that.
only is now Julian more
cooperating with
cooperative, if you notice, Jerr left the care of somebody
Yeah.
medically
That's true.
in Chime's hands.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
That's a huge big
That's a good
step.
point.
All right. Go ahead and take an extra point, sir.
Snap.
Now, the hard one.
Oh my gosh.
I'll take it.
Well, that's presumptive, sir. I don't
So-
think Takis are going to win today.
I
Yeah,
know.
we had Takis, which
They're
have
still really good.
have come from behind to win before.
Yes.
But I don't think
Yes.
that's the case this
Not
time.
tonight. Not tonight.
We had Takis, which
It just wouldn't be fair
good.
if they won anyways.
I think we
Come on
were
now.
all very excited to meet up because it's
Oh, yeah.
been a
It's
few
been
months since we've been able to physically meet up and have a
Yeah.
gaming session.
Yeah.
and I'll have to admit that I talked so much trash about my snack game leading up to this, and then
Did.
it tasted fine. It actually tasted really good.
I really
However, it wasn't. The presentation wasn't what I wanted it to be.
What do they say? Function over form. If it does the job,
Well, yes.
does
Yeah.
what it looks
But,
like
but
really
if it
matters.
When
will
I-
do
when
the
I s-
actual
when I-
desired attack, it
when
would
I
be
s-
so much better.
Yeah.
When I saw this thing that I made was say, I'm going to make this. As soon as I heard the description, I was like, this is an automatic winner. It was baked in macaroni and cheese, chicken and waffles. So you had macaroni and cheese that is baked into a waffle. But I guess the recipe that I pulled They didn't get the proportions right, and I think there was too much cheese and not enough waffle batter, so it never actually held together as a waffle. So
It tasted really good though.
I just
It did.
Really good.
I just put all the mixture in a pan and baked it, and it ended up being like this cakey type thing. But it was really good, and I had different sauces to put on it. There was barbecue sauce, there was regular maple syrup, there was buffalo blue cheese, and spicy ranch.
The spicy ranch was good.
Spicy ranch and the barbecue.
And hot
Yeah.
sauce. Because chicken and waffles is
It was
syrup and hot
really,
sauce.
Really good.
And then Johnny,
I made a cinnamon roll with bacon in the middle, topped with a
Production.
with a maple whiskey cream cheese frosting.
I think we know which one you're gonna pick.
Next time, you gotta make it with the peanut butter whiskey.
Oh yeah, you're not taking my peanut butter whiskey though.
Peanut butter whiskey in that cream cheese. Oh, man.
This was just simple, cheap Jack Daniels.
Mm.
But yeah, and then Aaron made peanut butter bars with graham cracker chocolate.
Confession, they're vegan.
They were very good.
It just means there's no butter.
Yeah, no butter and not honey graham crackers.
Yeah.
Did
And
you
no
use
eggs
the
either.
like some kind of avocado spread or anything in there, or
What kind of fat did you use?
yeah,
It's plant butter,
yeah. That's what I thought.
aka margarine only.
Only named more.
And it actually doesn't, because margarine still has some dairy in it.
Yeah.
You brought cookies.
Yeah, I brought little cookie things.
Those are good cookies.
They were very good. I had
Especially
several
with
of
the
them.
frosting on top of it. There's cookies with the maple whiskey cream cheese frosting
I
on
like
it.
this one better too.
Oh, and also as an additional non-entry treat.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
the non-entry treat. Jordan posted in our group chat that he was at some function, and they had
Like
made
Chips Ahoy.
Chips Ahoy with Sour Patch Kids, and I was like, why would you mix the Chips Ahoy with the Sour Patch?
Yeah,
So I was like, I bet you those would be good with sugar cookies.
they were very good.
So that's what I made. I made sugar cookies with
They
Sour
taste
Patch
pretty
Kids.
It was
tasty.
pretty good.
Yeah, it was good.
But that's not my submission.
Yeah. And Jordan made some ribs
I made some
that
ribs.
were very tasty.
And some spicy meatballs.
Jackie made the spicy meatballs, but yes, they were really good. Actually, they were a Hello Fresh recipe that we got from my mother-in-law. So
Nice.
yeah,
So
that's that.
Yeah, that's a lot of food, and we haven't even talked about whatever it is.
Which
Even
one?
raw.
Which
Yeah,
one
but-
did baby like the best?
She kicked around for the cinnamon rolls,
Baby liked cinnamon rolls. Well, okay.
and I'm a vote and a half. So
I'll only accept that as far as food is concerned.
But man, those peanut butter bars were a close second.
Those were pretty. I loved the graham cracker and the chocolate.
Oh, it was.
And it was
yeah.
only because I had some extra. And I'm like, what am I
Yeah.
going to do with leftover graham cracker crumbs?
It was beautiful.
So it's just
It
got to go.
just it
gotta go
added
on
that
top.
nice extra crunch to it.
My vote's for the cinnamon rolls.
I'm gonna go with the peanut butter bars.
2 cinnamon rolls, 1 peanut butter bar. Jeff.
Mine was a toss up between the not waffles
Not waffles.
I like it. That's a good name.
and the peanut butter bars. It's probably gonna have to be the peanut butter bars. Sorry, Jeremy.
Oh, so there's a tie going up.
2-2.
Going forward.
So with my last walk around, I have to go with the not waffles.
The not waffles.
Which means there's a tie, which means Jordan.
Wait, is there a tie?
I don't know. We have another person over there.
Hold on. Who
Oh
voted?
yeah, we can ask
Cinnamon-
Hannah.
Special guest. Special guest.
Okay, what's the count for what?
Peanut butter bars.
peanut bars,
2 for peanut butter
cinnamon
bars. 2 for
rolls.
cinnamon rolls.
Oh, okay.
1 for not
and
waffles.
not waffles.
All right, so we need one more vote.
We need a special
Hey
guest.
Hannah,
Yeah,
which snack did you like the best?
the peanut butter bar.
Peanut.
And as I
you can
walked
hear
in,
the
I'm like, why
sadness
did
in
I
her
even
voice.
bother? Why did I
The
even bother
peanut
bringing
butter
this?
Bars.
Yay!
Congratulations.
I liked it. Baby liked
I
it.
liked it too, but
I liked it.
like I said, I had to do a little walk around the table, you know.
Well, especially when you heated up the mac and cheese, it really got extra tasty.
It was good.
All right. Well, thank you so much for listening. Look forward to the next episode because that is going to be Sam's episode.
Where Aaron decides to break everything we just built.
Yep.
No. So that's where like everything that you just built will have the finishing touches. There will be paint,
icing on the
there
cake.
will be trim, there will be. I mean, it will look.
There'll be
beautiful.
death. There'll be mayhem.
Okay, you have to tell us at the beginning. We have to almost start with a commentary section this next time, so you can tell us how it feels from Jordan's perspective to leave Jordan with all these loose ends and give him a month to tie everything together.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Let's go ahead and close this off. Thank you so much for listening, and have a great time. Thank you for listening to Bone Throwers Theater. Our cast is Aaron, Ellie, Jeff, Jeremy, Johnny, and Jordan. We are releasing this podcast under a Creative Commons Attribution, Non-Commercial, No Derivatives 3.0 Unported license. That means you can share the podcast, but please do not modify it or try to gain financially from it. If you would like to visit our website, you can do so at bonethrowerstheater.com. If you would like to send us an email, you can do so at bonethrowerstheater@gmail.com. Our Twitter handle is bonethrowerstheater. You can also look us up on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And until next time, may the bones fall ever in your favor. This has been a Nerd Circle podcast production.